Hey, it's Margie with the Asking Spot, asking, can I upcycle some jeans? And for the most part, I think I got this. Should be pretty easy. I've been thinking about it for a while.
Okay, winging it.
I'm gonna make, I looked at it and I was like, wow, with all these pockets on here,
Wing it.
Wing it.
this would make a great tote. So I'm just cutting it to a length and I'm gonna go ahead and make a tote. I cut out the inside, the inseam. I cut that out, made it flat across. I made mine slightly curved on the bottom. This is how this one went. I finally snapped out of it and realized, no, I just need to cut strips and then sew them nicely together, and that'll make for better straps. Then using a thicker scrap piece, I cut it out, sewed it on, and that is now the loop that is going to hold the button that closes the tote. And then I got to thinking, hey, you know what I could actually use more of? Not totes, although totes work, grocery stores, whatever, but gift bags for bottles of wine.
Oh, that's the perfect
So
gift.
that was my next project because I had the legs from that other bag. And this is how that went. As luck would have it, I had a gift bag for a wine bottle already on hand. My friends and I have a rather simple gift exchange, but I used that as my guide for the size. I cut out this basic opening and I just sewed where it was still going to be open on the one side. I left the other side as it was. And I also made sure I kept the top, that finish seam on the top. That's going to be my top of my bottle. It's going to be the opening of the bag. But you turn it inside out to sew it so you have a smoother, cleaner finish seam. So in essence, we are sewing an N because that one side's already attached. And I'm going to be sewing some strips of denim together so I can make the tie string for this gift bag. But first, the bottom of it. So I'm going to sew it like you would just, following all the open areas. But then you open it up and you go perpendicular to that seam and you sew across it. This is going to give you more of a square bottom. You trim off the excess, which I had already done before I had the camera out, sorry, but that's how that works. Then when you pull it right side out, you will have a sort of a square boxed bottom, as they say. And then we're going to move on to sewing those straps together. For them, I did a pretty simple sewing job on it. Basically, I just did a cross stitch, folded it in on itself. Well, here I am sewing the beginning of it together. And then, just folded it in and did a cross stitch all along it just to give it a neater finish, but really super easy. And then for a neater appearance, I made sure to line up the seam of the tie strings with the seam of the bag before I sewed it on. Knowing my friends, I'm going to be cutting the legs off of a lot of pants.
AKA wine experts.
No. All right, with the other leg, I decided to try and make a purse with it. And this one, I think I made mine shorter and wider than I wanted to. I probably should have made it more traditional or trendy right now, made it longer. But it is however you want to fold it is how you decide what size bag this is going to be. Now in this one, I actually went ahead and made a lining with it. Now all of the pieces I'm making, you could do a lining, but it's really up to you if you want to put in the extra effort. I have to say, it does look pretty snazzy. Oh, and while I sewed my lining in, you could also just use hot glue. I'm attempting to make the lining with this scrap fabric I have. So cute. So, this is what I want it to look like in the end. This is the part where it's going to be sewn together here. And this will be a pocket, but this will be a pocket. And I want to put a lining in this pocket. So,
Take shape. A pattern, sir? A villainous pattern indeed.
cut and then sew. Then you insert it into the denim pocket and sew it or glue it in place. My apologies on the camera angle here. I'm trying to show you how I did sort of a hidden stitch. Now this is just from one pocket inside to the other pocket inside. I want them both to be able to be open. So I'm kind of just binding the two pieces of fabric that are side by side, not the whole pockets. I hope that makes more sense than this camera angle does.
Breathe, focus, keep it simple.
Craftsmanship, hand sewn.
And then because I like having an outside pocket that I have easy access for my phone, I decided to unstitch the jeans pocket and then use fabric glue to attach it. Got a little messy here, but you get the idea. I was honestly quite surprised how well this worked. I think I wouldn't put money on it, but I think you could also use hot glue. And obviously, if you didn't have fabric glue, sewing would work too. Here's where things got a little weird. I decided to attach the straps by just doing a little hole in the side here. And I did it fine for one side, but then on the other side, I cut a massive hole. So do be careful. I had to hand stitch that shut. But otherwise, it was great. I could slip in the straps that I made, tie a knot on each end, and then they were held in place there. And it was relatively easy to do.
Well, before we go to what was the final results, let's take a look at where we started. Yay! Okay, it was jeans. But if you could please click that subscribe button, give a thumbs up if you're already subscribed. It really helps out the channel. And I know I'm not making super perfection, but I'm hoping that I'm doing things that make you go, oh, I can do that better. Thanks for the idea. So, without further ado, here's what the final results were. I got a handy dandy tote bag. This, says it all. It's pretty easy to deal with and use, and it was probably the easiest thing I made, just about. And then there is the more slightly fancier, for me, it was the purse, but even that was pretty easy. I just, the fact that I did the interior lining, ooh. And then last but not least, probably the one I will be making more of because, gift bags. This one was done in the style of a wine gift bag, but really you could make them shorter and, put different things in it. It would make a great gift bag one way or the other. Well, there you go. I hope this inspired you. I got bloopers and bonus coming up next. Thanks so much for watching the Asking Spot. All right, thanks for sticking around for the bonus round. Now, here's the thing that really kills me, but I'm just being honest. I had a fourth project planned. I got most of it done, and then it came time to sew it up. Well, my sewing machine was out of a bobbin. And replacing those, just for some reason, something's wrong.
Have you considered user error?
Yeah, I had a total rampage, completely lost it. And I stopped myself from putting the sewing machine on the curb, but I will be taking it to a repair shop where if it's not a super easy repair, I'm just gonna be like, here, have it for parts.
No, she got mad. She's not mentally mad.
So I'm just saying, if sewing isn't your thing, try it with a hot glue gun or fabric glue. It should work a lot easier. Be a total hot mess. And I do know though that I don't have the best attitude when I'm sewing. So, just telling you what I'm doing. We're not really gonna have any video footage of it because, yeah. Now clearly, I think I'm onto something. Doggies.